York. Please join me in welcoming our County Executive, Ryan McMahon.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank everybody who's played a role related to getting this evening prepared. It's a lot of work. I want to thank our team in county government for the work you do every day. Also want to acknowledge some of my fellow elected officials here. My understanding is, I can't see anyone, by the way, but so if I forget somebody, I apologize. But my understanding is that my good friend Mayor Ben Walsh is here. Please give him a round of applause. Now, I've been told this. I don't know if I've ever had a congressional member here, but I heard Congressman Brandon Williams may be here as well. So please give him a round of applause. I know we have the county comptroller, Marty Masterpool, here somewhere. Please give him a round of applause. Our new county clerk, Emily Essie. Please give her a round of applause. And to the dozens of town, village, and city representatives and school district representatives, thank you for coming. It's meaningful. Also, I want to acknowledge my family is here with me. My fiance Alicia is here. Please give her a round of applause. My father, John McMahon, is here. He's got a birthday tomorrow. We won't sing happy birthday, but happy birthday, Dad. So, the life of a county executive, you have a big speech and you want your son Jack to come. Jack complains that there is March Madness basketball going on. But if I give him $50 so he can take his girlfriend to lunch, he'll come. So here he is, Jack McMahon. Give him a round of applause. Andrew McMahon is here with us tonight. Andrew McMahon got an elbow at school today. He's going to have his first black eye, but he promises me it was an accident. Andrew McMahon, give him a round of applause. I want to thank my family, Tom, Vera, Steve, Sherry, thank you for being here. And county legislators, thank you as well. I especially want to thank Dr. Desiato for her warm welcome and most importantly for her partnership. Dr. Desiato has been a trusted and steady voice over the last several years. The 2022 New York State Superintendent of the Year, and most of all, I'm proud to call Dr. Desiato my friend. So please give Dr. Desiato a round of applause. I want to thank Bishop Collette for her invocation. Please give her a round of applause. And then our ESM students who are here leading us in the pledge. Thank you, and give them a round of applause. You're going to be clapping a lot with this speech tonight, legislators. All right, so I just want to take a moment and welcome our newest members of the county legislature. Maurice Brown. Maurice, no live tweeting today. Palmer Harvey, Nodicia Hernandez, Kevin Meeker, and Dan Romeo. I look forward to working with each and every one of you over the next 2 years. Chairman Burtis and legislators, it's my honor to inform you that the state of our county is strong. It is resilient, and it is poised for opportunity and growth that we have not seen in generations. I could not be more optimistic and excited about the future of Onondaga County and the incredible opportunities in front of us. We have the opportunity to become the high-tech manufacturing hub for North America. Our constituents are hungry for this opportunity. They believe in this opportunity, and this past November made their intentions perfectly clear. They want us to execute on this opportunity. Now is the time to build on partnerships. Put partisanship on the sidelines and never lead from behind. Now is the time for execution. We must be bold. We must be prepared. We need to seize this moment and execute our plan to ensure every member of our community can take advantage of this unique moment in our county's history. Without strong, responsible fiscal management, Onondaga County would not be here where we are today. My administration is constantly seeking ways to implement cost savings, improve services, and make strategic investments. And the proof is in the numbers. For the last 6 years, we have ended each fiscal year with a budget surplus. As a result, our rainy day fund is in compliance with the 15% goal set forth by the county legislature, and our bond rating continues to be looked upon favorably by the rating agencies. For example, Moody's upgraded us to a AA2 rating with a stable outlook. More importantly, we have been able to deliver real tax relief to the taxpayers of our county. With the support from the legislature, the county tax rate has been cut from $5.05 per thousand to $3.62 per thousand since I became county executive. This means that a home worth $200,000 in 2018 was paying a little over $1,000 on county taxes, whereas today a home worth $200,000 would pay just $724. That equals a nearly 28% cut in the county tax rate. While county government doesn't control every aspect of your tax bill, I can say with confidence that we will continue to do everything in our power to ensure more of your money stays in your pocket. I want to thank CFO Steve Morgan and his team for their leadership and prudent fiscal management. Give them a round of applause. Ensuring the safety, health, and well-being of our citizens are among the most important investments we make as a county. We have been strategic and laser-focused on our PI platform, and specifically holistic strategies to address root causes of poverty. A growing, inclusive community needs to be a healthy community. To that end, my administration has been unwavering in our commitment to investing in youth mental health. Earlier, you saw a video that showed the powerful impact this investment is having. The need for these resources has long existed, but there is no question the pandemic brought a new sense of urgency to this important issue. Parents and families are looking for support. Our county's most precious asset, our children, are facing pressures, quite frankly, we never had to when we were kids. In 2021, my administration committed to providing the necessary funding so each school district would have the tools and resources they needed to adequately address the mental health needs for their students. With the support from the legislature, I'm proud to report that we have made good on that promise. Over the last 3 years, nearly $20 million has been invested in supporting our 3-tier model, which includes placing mental health clinics directly in school buildings. In addition, Onondaga County was recently awarded a $3.75 million grant from the federal government to further bolster our efforts. Thousands of our kids now have access to the mental health resources they need and deserve. But there is much more work to do, and it will require partnerships both inside and outside the classroom. Tonight, we have with us Vinnie Lobdell. The Lobdells have been instrumental in Central New York in raising the visibility of the tragedy of compromised mental health and its consequences. Unfortunately, they know the pain and devastation that comes when a loved one takes their own life. Thankfully for our community and the many families affected by the mental health crisis, the Lobdell family has chosen to act and to let their voice be heard to prevent other families from experiencing this ultimate pain. Through their partnership with Onondaga County and our local school districts, the Lobdells will be sponsoring suicide prevention training for all school personnel for the coming school year. This will be, please. This will be very holistic, as it will be intended for all school personnel who come in contact with our children, from the teacher to administrators to the bus driver and custodial staff. No one knows who might be the pivotal contact a child has that could prevent tragedy. So we all need to know the signs when someone is struggling. To that end, acclaimed expert Dr. Daniel Reidenberg from the International Association for Suicide Prevention will be coming to our county for several trainings this coming school year. We look forward to enhancing and expanding our partnership with the Lobdells over the coming years. Vinny is here with us tonight, and I want to thank you, Vinny, for your unwavering commitment to our kids. Please give him a round of applause. This past December, Onondaga County contracted with a national consultant to provide training aimed at identifying and mitigating potential threats to our schools. This initiative aimed to establish a county-wide system, ensuring consistency and reliability across all districts and the community. Drawing from the Salem-Kaiser Cascade model as a template, the training focused on building a robust county-wide and community-based threat assessment system. Schools sent representatives from their administration, student support teams, as well as school resource officers. We also had representatives from public safety, mental health providers, local hospitals, and others, resulting in more than 300 staff across the county being trained. Together, we are working towards creating safer learning environments for our students and a more secure future for our community. We know that our children learn best when they are physically in the classroom. So it is imperative that we work to remove any barriers that could prevent that from happening. The pandemic caused thousands of kids to fall behind in receiving vital childhood vaccinations, such as measles and meningitis. And primary care providers are still struggling to catch up with the backlog. To fill this void, our county health department stepped up and administered vaccines to nearly 1,500 children, allowing them to start the school year in the classroom. As the medical field continues to recover, we anticipate this need remaining, at least in the short term. That is why I have directed the county health department to develop and execute a plan to allow for mobile vaccinations. This effort will not only ensure our children can learn in person, but also create flexibility for our working parents. As we all know, there were many lessons learned from the pandemic. Chief among them was the need for ongoing and long-lasting partnerships among our various community institutions. Tonight, I'm proud to announce that we have all the pieces in place to partner with Upstate to establish an academic health department. The concept of such an arrangement is grounded in best practice for health departments across the country. The academic health department will enhance public health education, training, research, and service opportunities. It will increase retention of local talent, improve our capacity to respond to emerging health threats, and will translate to better health outcomes for our entire community. Thank you to Dr. Katie Anderson and her team and Upstate for establishing this partnership. Please give them a round of applause. The scourge of the opioid epidemic has not spared our community. This disease is heartbreaking and ruthless. And it's important to remember that it is truly a disease caused largely by amoral, greedy opioid manufacturers and fentanyl traffickers. In an effort to hold them accountable, communities across the country, including ours, sued them and won. Set to receive millions of dollars over the next several years, my administration knew that to make real progress addressing this issue would require comprehensive investments. More specifically, we decided to allocate initial funding towards initiatives that would address prevention, treatment, and recovery. We then engaged in a competitive process and ultimately awarded grants to 6 different agencies. Tonight, I am announcing our second round of solicitation from our opioid settlement funding, totaling $2.5 million. The focus of these funds will align with the accepted Housing First guidelines. The lack of stable housing is often the biggest barrier preventing a successful recovery from those battling addiction. This round of funding will be dedicated towards knocking down that barrier. We will also focus on supports for those experiencing mental health and substance use disorder, as well as furthering prevention strategies in schools like the one we're in tonight. These efforts are meaningful, and we will make substantial progress. But let me be clear. We need our partners at the federal government to double down on their efforts to stop the illegal flow of fentanyl through the southern border and to punish the foreign governments that are supporting the distribution of this poison. It has been well documented the issue our community faces when it comes to lead. And our team has worked diligently to use federal grant dollars we have been awarded to abate lead throughout our county. To date, lead hazard reductions have been completed in 148 units, and another 81 are in the pipeline. We also have assisted the city in the execution of their federal grant, and I'm pleased to share that an additional 134 units have had their lead hazards reduced, with another 60 in the works for this year. This is real and important progress, but we quickly learned that rules and red tape that accompany these federal dollars prevented us from reaching members of our community that needed our help. Being someone who doesn't accept excuses, we quickly got to work. We developed a plan that offered a multi-pronged approach to address many of the systemic issues surrounding lead, and then asked the legislature for their support. In total, in partnership with the legislature, we have funded over $11 million in additional flexible funding to further tackle this issue. One of the biggest hurdles we encountered was finding EPA lead certified contractors. Properly removing lead contaminated materials is much more complicated than swapping out an old window or door. And there simply was not the workforce to meet the demand. Under the leadership of our new Director of Lead Operations, Jessica Vincent-Guerra, Onondaga County has started organizing and funding the certification process to grow the pool of eligible contractors. Tonight, I'm pleased to report that 97 individuals have now been certified. But even more exciting, please give, good news. But even more exciting, Legislator Garland, is that 8 students in the Syracuse City School District were also trained as part of a pilot program that certifies high school junior and seniors in the trades. In addition to this progress, I'm very pleased to announce that our team has been awarded a Leading in Lead grant totaling $1.4 million from the Housing Trust Corporation. This funding will be focused on the multi-unit structures where children reside and will supplement our existing windows and doors program. My administration has been a steadfast supporter of the Early Childhood Alliance to ensure the success of every child in our community. Every segment is better served when our children are prepared and ready to begin school. Last September, Imagination Library reached the 1.5 million milestone in number of books distributed in our county. As has been the cornerstone since its inception, all children in our community being ready for kindergarten is the overriding goal of the initiative. In order to evaluate readiness, all districts should be using the same measuring instrument so that steps can be taken to address gaps in readiness. We are seeing great progress in this area as some of our largest school districts are partnering to finally make this a reality. The ECA and other partners have been instrumental in advocating the need for comprehensive daycare options in our community. They have partnered with us to explore creative options for expanding daycare, as the need for safe, reliable childcare has never been greater, and that need is only growing. In an effort to support and bolster this vital industry, our 2024 budget allocated $750,000 towards a daycare capital improvement fund. I'm pleased to announce that my administration has partnered with Child Care Solutions, and next month we will begin the process of accepting applications for grants up to $50,000 to licensed child care providers looking to enhance and grow their facilities. On the physical services side of county government, 2023 proved to be another busy year for your DOT team. They paved another 87 miles of county roads while also repairing or replacing several bridges, culverts, and thousands of feet of storm pipe. I intend to keep them just as busy in 2024 and continue our proud tradition of making sure county infrastructure remains of the highest caliber. We also continue to make critical investments in our below-ground infrastructure. WEP's investments are leading the way to reduce greenhouse gases and create renewable energy while supporting vital community economic development. Our team at WEP is working hard to expand services in the Oak Orchard service area, which provides sewer service to the towns of Clay, Cicero, and the future home of Micron. The WEP team is developing plans for a potential and imminent $430 million capital investment that develops infrastructure to not only support economic development, but also seeks to advance the county's initiatives to support and advance the goals of the Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. This is a three-phase project. First phase, construction of $37 million worth of sewer collection pipes and a pump station to extend service areas that don't have any public services today, including the White Pine Business Park. Construction of this new system will start by the fall of 2024 and put into service by the end of 2025, ready to support Micron's construction and all the other local area sewer needs. Second, the construction of a $150 million expansion to the existing Oak Orchard treatment plant that will not only provide increased treatment capacity to serve the anticipated growth, but will also allow WEP to build a new biosolids processing facility that will significantly reduce their sludge trucking expenses, provide an opportunity for co-digestion to partner with organizations like Okra. This could create methane gas for a potential renewable natural gas. Third, investments is to develop a new reclaimed water utility. The WEP team will be piloting treatment systems to develop a plan to take affluent wastewater and turn it into purified, reclaimed, and recycled water. This new innovative water resource will provide a supplemental water supply to Micron and reduce the amount of fresh water supplied by Aqua. While we are the water-rich Northeast, our WEP team understands the vital importance of water conservation. I want to acknowledge Shannon Hardy and her team. Please give her a round of applause. While WEP works on our wastewater expansion, our partners at Aqua are doing their part to ensure we have safe, reliable, and affordable drinking water. In preparation for our future growth, they have embarked on a $90 million capital upgrade to their system that draws water from Lake Ontario. This work, set to conclude in 2027, represents critical first steps that Aqua has committed to. I want to thank Jeff Brown and his team at Aqua for their leadership on this effort. I'm happy to report that tremendous progress has been made in our effort to end the digital divide and bring broadband service to long underserved communities. Verizon has already installed over 175 of the 311 miles of fiber needed, and they remain on schedule to complete their work this fall. The constant evolution of technology presents county government with numerous opportunities to modernize and create additional efficiencies. When you then factor in the possibilities that come with artificial intelligence, or AI, the potential is nearly limitless. To that end, I have tasked my team to assemble a working group that will study the highest and best use of AI in the public sector. This working group will consist of partners in the public, private, and education sectors. In addition to its potential of making our processes more efficient and responsive, I believe that AI can be extremely beneficial in the areas of public safety, data analysis, traffic management, smart infrastructure maintenance, and more. Onondaga County will continue to be a leader in the use of cutting-edge technology in a safe and responsible way, and I look forward to seeing the recommendations from the working group. There is no question that our high quality of life and diverse is thankful to, in part, our entertainment infrastructure. It is key. By continuing to invest in these, we are able to attract outside visitors and their money to help support and grow our local economy. This year, the Upstate Medical Arena at the On-Center War Memorial, and that is a mouthful, will undergo a multi-million-dollar investment, including brand new seating in the lower bowl. We recently completed a $5 million upgrade to our convention center that included the addition of new meeting rooms, upgraded technology, rehabilitation of the ballroom, and much more. This will go a long way in helping us attract additional convention business. Onondaga Lake continues to be one of our community's best assets. Last year, we opened the latest segment of the Loop the Lake Trail at Murphy's Island. I know the latest extension caused concern for some, but I am thrilled to see that members of our community are now able to actually get an even closer look at the stunning and numerous bald eagles that frequent the southern shore of Onondaga Lake. Then there is pickleball. This past August, hundreds of pickleballers joined myself, Parks Commissioner Brian Kelly, and his team to open the largest outdoor pickleball complex in upstate New York. These courts are in high demand, and we are currently exploring further expansion options for this popular and fast-growing sport. The newly named Empower Federal Credit Union at Lakeview had another successful and profitable season, ending with a net $430,000 operating profit. To date, that's good news. To date, the amphitheater has produced almost $1 million in operating profits. And Legislator May will be especially pleased to know that the Oneida gaming revenue earmarked for the AMP continues to exceed the bond payment by over $2 million yearly. We are excited to report that our aquarium project is underway and on schedule for a fall 2025 completion. Our team of local and national consultants have delivered a design that will provide an exciting and world-class facility. We began initial construction in the fall of 2023 with site preparation and shoreline stabilization. Foundation work is scheduled to begin later this spring, with full construction beginning shortly thereafter. As promised, the aquarium will have exhibits that reflect our history and commitment to conservation through an exciting educational experience. And I am excited to share these updated renderings with you. That's it? All right, I thought we had a couple more. We look forward to updating our community on more progress in the months to come. To execute on the opportunity in front of us requires thoughtful planning, partnership, intentionality, and leadership. We need to execute on the White Pine Business Park. We need to execute on our supply chain strategy to create the ecosystem necessary for Micron to be successful. We need to execute on a comprehensive workforce strategy that empowers all residents with a focus on underrepresented communities. And we need to execute on preparing our community to transition to a growth community. Tonight, I am pleased to offer a progress report on these efforts. The NEPA and seeker review process will govern the start of Micron construction. This environmental review is required prior to the start of all construction projects. A NEPA public hearing has been set for March 19th at Clay Town Hall. We expect both SECRA and NEPA to be complete early next year for the Micron project. Based on the current understanding of the schedule, the expectation is to commence fab construction in 2025, with Fab 1 operational in 2027, and Fab 2 operational by 2030. Of course, the historic investment being made by Micron has generated significant interest from supply chain companies. And rest assured, we are pursuing them with the same intensity that we did with Micron. SEMICON West brings a multitude of global electronics supply chain companies together to address the limitless opportunities provided by the semiconductor ecosystem. It is literally a who's who of the semiconductor supply chain industry. Last year, joined by the team in economic development, we went to SEMICON, where I personally met with dozens of companies to share with them the same story that convinced Micron to call Onondaga County home. In partnership with Scott Gatzmeyer from Micron and Boise Mayor Laura McLean, we also hosted a supply chain event where these companies could personally hear about the value and benefits that come with having a presence in the same communities as Micron. And just as we worked to make the White Pine site the premier site for high-tech manufacturing, our economic development team has done the same for future supply chain companies with our White Pine South site across the street from White Pine. These efforts are also drawing international attention. At the invitation of the Taiwanese Ambassador General, I will be leading a delegation to Taiwan to meet with a number of supply chain companies vital to the semiconductor industry. The story of our community is one I'm proud to share. And these are just a few examples of the efforts being made to ensure that we maximize the opportunity in front of us. And I promise you, we are just getting started in those efforts. We must also continue reaching out to our young people to show them the exciting world of STEM and STEAM. We've seen Micron team up with our local school districts, including right here at ESM, to establish chip camps. These camps, which bring the world of semiconductors right to students through fun and hands-on activities. Micron also announced a $500,000 commitment to the MOST through the newly formed Community Engagement Committee that will sponsor a STEM education series and additional science camps. This funding also sponsored a brand new permanent interactive exhibit at the MOST that offers kids across central New York the opportunity to have hands-on exposure to semiconductors. Progress is being made on the much anticipated STEAM School. Work on the roof started late last year with full construction scheduled to start by late spring. This school, the first of its kind in New York State, will literally serve as a workforce pipeline for not only Micron, but companies like Saab, TTM, Lockheed Martin, Amazon, JMA, and so many more. I recently joined Lemoyne College President Linda Lemura and the superintendents of OCS and the Lafayette school districts to announce the expansion of the Erie 21 program. Over the last several years, Erie 21 has introduced middle school students in the Syracuse City School District to STEM-related fields such as coding, robotics, and engineering. This program then continues to follow the student through their academic career, providing them the academic support they need to ensure their success. This innovative program is now expanding to Lafayette, and OCS, thanks to financial support from Onondaga County, and will play an increasingly important role in generating the local talent we will need to fill the growing demand for STEM-related jobs. Syracuse Build has successfully demonstrated how to prepare local workers for high-quality, meaningful career pathways. Pathways to Apprenticeship has graduated 5 cohorts to date. 86 individuals have graduated, 96% are people of color, 15% are women, and 3% veterans. Pathways to Apprenticeship is a strong example of how federal and state investments can be leveraged to empower local workers, especially women, veterans, and people of color. The graduates of this program are working on meaningful construction projects throughout our community. Syracuse Build is a blueprint for the inclusive efforts we will need to execute on for our workforce development strategies. I want to acknowledge the City of Syracuse for all their great efforts in standing up Syracuse Build. OCC continues to be a tremendous partner in our workforce development efforts. This past October, we welcome officials from Micron and SUNY to unveil the renderings of the Micron Clean Room Simulation Lab to be housed in the Whitney Applied Technology Center. Onondaga County proudly allocated $5 million towards this new lab, and I'm happy to report that the construction is now well underway. I'm also pleased to share that this fall, OCC started offering a brand new certificate program called Electromechanical Technology. This program will provide students with the knowledge and skills related to mechanical, electrical, and control systems, which will prepare students for entry and growth into a variety of technical fields. We have already had 94 students in these programs, and another 65 students have applied for the fall semester. Thank you, OCC, for your leadership in this area. Please give them a round of applause. As part of the CHIPS and Science Act, the federal government sought to establish regional tech hubs throughout the country through a highly intensive application process. In partnership with Buffalo and Rochester, we submitted our New York Smart I-Corridor application. We were honored to learn this past October that the federal government announced we were successful and would be designated as one of just 31 tech hubs across the country. As a designated tech hub, we are now eligible to receive funding up to $75 million to strengthen our semiconductor ecosystem along the New York Smart I-Corridor. Those dollars will be used to accelerate investment in technologies critical to economic growth, national security, and job creation. I would be remiss not to thank Senator Schumer for his incredibly important partnership and advocacy on behalf of Onondaga County in this effort, as well as all community partners and all federal partners, Senator Gillibrand and Congressman Williams as well. But specifically, I want to thank Center State CEO for your efforts on this initiative. Please give them a round of applause. Another important tool when it comes to workforce development is the proposal from the governor and her team at Empire State Development to establish Syracuse and Onondaga County as a flagship center for the One Network for Advanced Manufacturing Partnerships, or let's call it OnRamp. Focused on unlocking hidden talent across our community and region, OnRamp will be focused on making strategic workforce investments across the thruway in an effort to recruit, train, and place individuals from underrepresented communities into advanced manufacturing jobs. As a flagship center, we will serve as a one-stop shop for both job seekers as well as manufacturers and construction firms looking for talent. There is no doubt that OnRamp will serve as another important tool in our toolbox when it comes to workforce development. And I strongly encourage our state delegation to support this important initiative. Each and every one of these programs will be vital in ensuring we develop the workforce necessary to meet this moment. But we must do even more. To further that effort, my team is putting together a request for proposals that will seek new and innovative ideas to bolster our workforce development efforts. We have allocated $2.5 million towards this effort, and we will expand eligibility to childcare, healthcare, as well as high-tech manufacturing workforce programs for these funds. As we enter this next chapter in our comeback story, it is imperative more than ever that we have a blueprint, a comprehensive plan that reflects the priorities of our community and serves as a roadmap for our anticipated growth. It turned out that our county comprehensive plan had not been updated in nearly 25 years. So I charged our team in planning with putting forth a comprehensive plan that engaged local elected officials, community stakeholders, and the public at large to understand what they wanted the future of Onondaga County to look like. Finally, this past July, with unanimous support from the county legislature, Plan Onondaga, or Plan On for short, was officially adopted. And this past December, the legislature unanimously approved $30 million in order to begin executing on Plan On. To effectively implement Plan On and help us meet this moment, we need our partners in local government. Our planning department assisted the city of Syracuse with their rezone efforts, and we have allocated $2 million to help our town and village partners with the cost of updating their comprehensive plans. 11 municipalities have taken advantage of this program so far, including the towns of Cicero, Camillus, Van Buren, and Salina, to name a few. And I'm confident that many others will soon follow. With respect to Plan On, we have identified 5 key priorities: strong centers, housing in neighborhoods, community mobility, greenways and blueways, and agriculture. And I'm happy to report that we are making progress on all fronts. Walkable, people-oriented places with a mix of jobs, housing, shopping, dining, arts and culture, and more are all key elements to a strong center-driven development. Our plan calls for continued investment in existing centers, as well as an investment to create new centers throughout our community. You cannot talk about centers without highlighting the amazing progress of downtown Syracuse. The transformation of downtown into a vibrant neighborhood is a perfect example of what center-driven communities can look like. I specifically want to highlight the progress at the southern end of downtown in the Syracuse Surge footprint. The restoration of the Sibley's building into City Center, a thriving commercial space. The renovation of the Symphony Tower. The thriving Salt City Market, and now the planned renovation of the Chimes building to begin in August, a $45 million investment, 152 mixed income apartments, from studio to even 3-bedroom units. I'm happy to announce that this project will receive OCHIP funding as well. I want to congratulate the Allen Foundation, the Hayner Hoyt team, and Mayor Walsh. The southern end of downtown is indeed surging. When it comes to creating new center-driven development, there are 2 locations that we have been working on diligently: the former Great Northern and Shopping Town malls. Hart Lyman and Conifer's planned development of the 180-acre site of the former Great Northern Mall will create a vibrant and modern community center. This $1 billion investment will transform the area into a thriving community with a walkable town center, entertainment district, health and wellness campus, and premier residential community. The mall site will establish a dynamic, engaging environment where people can seamlessly live, work, shop, and dine. The project numbers are impressive and include 600,000 square feet of retail, community, grocery, restaurant, and entertainment space, 790,000 square feet of medical and office space, 750 sorely needed hotel rooms, and most impressively, several mixed-use clusters, each featuring 300 to 500 new housing units with options for all members of the community who wish to call the town of Clay home. The large scope of the project will require a substantial investment, reflecting the developer's commitment to address our area's housing shortage and accommodate expected growth from Micron. With hopes of finalizing permitting and approvals quickly, construction is slated to begin in Q4 of this year. With respect to the redevelopment of the former Shopping Town Mall in DeWitt, the county has been actively involved for months, advancing the right plan for redevelopment and bringing together the right partners who possess the vision, knowledge, experience, and track record for redevelopment. I am very happy to report that recently, Benderson Development and OHB Redev have come to an agreement where the parties will advance mixed-use development at the former Shopping Town Mall site. This development would involve hundreds of new housing units, as well as office, retail, restaurant, medical, recreation, and other community amenities. Benderson Development is the premier retail developer in the United States, with an outstanding reputation throughout the country. And OHB Redev is made up of local developers and professionals who will advance the multifamily elements of this redevelopment. The redevelopment of this property at a critically important intersection within the county will fulfill the vision I had many months ago when we elected to pursue the purchase and repurposing of this property. I am very hopeful that activity on this site will begin this summer, including zoning change applications being submitted to the town of DeWitt. The decision to take and purchase this property was bold, and I am very happy to report that our county vision is now much closer to reality. Center-driven development is much more than just new development. Our Main Street program has been helping our local communities reimagine, revitalize, and strengthen their respective business and neighborhood corridors. Since 2019, we have invested over $15 million into our main streets, which has leveraged an additional $29 million from the private sector on 220 different projects. The results speak for themselves. Tonight, I'm excited to announce that the town of Geddes and the village of Camillus are the first two recipients of our 2024 Main Street program. A total of 11 projects are being funded with a combined public-private investment of $900,000. Congratulations to the town of Geddes and the village of Camillus, and I promise we have more announcements in the future. Ultimately, small businesses serve as the backbone of any successful center development. And unfortunately, too many of them are still contending with economic challenges that threaten their survival. Tonight, I'm pleased to announce a new initiative, the Onondaga County Opportunity Fund, modeled after the program offered by the City of Syracuse, SEDCO. This $3 million fund will provide financial support to small businesses in an effort to provide a level of certainty that allows them to pursue new investment opportunities that strengthen and grow their operations. This fund will target business districts which have already received Main Street investments. Onondaga County is intentionally addressing housing issues across the county for the first time in a very long time, maybe ever. Housing is a dynamic and multifaceted issue. While others can pontificate about housing, we have to govern. If you are questioning why to get involved in housing, let's just review the housing news in just the last 10 days. From Syracuse.com, rent increases in Syracuse in January were among the highest in New York and the nation. Syracuse.com also cited a recently issued report that said It's harder to find an apartment in Syracuse than any other city. There is no question that Syracuse and Onondaga County has a number of housing projects in the works. Since the announcement made by Micron in 2022, 7,500 new housing units are in some stage of development. And there you can see them. Of those 7,500, 7,000 are proposed multifamily, and the other 500 are single-family units. 1,200 of the 7,500 are considered affordable or workforce housing, while 900 are targeted to seniors. These investments are exciting and represent important progress. But at the end of the day, our community has a severe housing shortage, and that refers to housing of all varieties: senior, workforce, market, mixed income, mixed use, and single-family homes. Looking ahead, we can already project that over the next 36 months alone, we will need 7,500 to 10,000 units of all kinds to come online. Keep in mind that current market conditions are less than ideal. Most notably, interest rates are at 40-year highs. Action is needed, and it's needed now. To that end, in partnership with the legislature, we created the Onondaga County Housing Initiative Program, or OCHIP. This fund awards grants for qualifying projects to help close any funding gaps, while also stimulating investment into construction of new housing units. And the results of OCHIP speak for themselves. So far, we have awarded over $5.2 million towards 33 projects, projected to create over 1,300 new units. And of those 1,300 units, 233 are mixed income, 592 are market rate, 488 are affordable, and Mayor Walsh will like this: 67% of these units are located within the city of Syracuse. It's also worth noting that our $5.2 million investment is leveraging $472 million from the private sector. I would say that is a pretty good rate of return right there, my friends. In partnership with Home Headquarters, we funded the construction of 5 new homes on West Kennedy and Furman, located on the south side of Syracuse. Those homes are currently under construction and will be sold to a qualifying first-time homebuyer. We also partnered with Housing Visions to fund the construction of 3 duplexes in the same neighborhood, with construction scheduled to begin this spring. Legislator Garland, thank you for your partnership on this effort. Give him a round of applause. Increasing housing options that cater to our seniors is also an important part of our housing strategy. Our seniors want low-maintenance housing in close proximity to the services and amenities they rely on, such as a grocery store, a pharmacy, a coffee shop, maybe even grandkids. And a promising opportunity to fulfill this demand could come from the redevelopment of unproductive commercial sites. We know that converting former commercial sites into residential sites requires a massive investment into right-sizing water and wastewater infrastructure. Acknowledging this barrier and the need to develop all types of housing, we have allocated funding to specifically aid projects willing to address this critical need. Another tool in our toolbox is the county industrial development agencies. With the current market conditions, we have a moment in time where some housing projects may need IDA support. Any applicant needs to pass a but-for clause for support. And many projects will not receive pilots, but having these tools allows our community to execute on meaningful projects that will create mid, short, and long-term revenue for all governments and help address the immediate affordability crisis our constituents are facing. We need to execute on these projects, and quickly, to address the housing crisis today and prepare for the Micron construction workforce coming in 2025. There is nothing that unifies our community like traffic issues. And no matter what part of the county you live, there are questions that need to be answered with respect to our community's mobility. Thanks to the historic investments taking place, whether it's McMahon or Route 81, we have a unique opportunity to fully reimagine how we move as a community. We need a community mobility system that is affordable, convenient, diverse, and safe for all users. And this includes incorporating additional modes of transportation, such as bus rapid transit. We will also be studying rapid transit options dedicated specifically to ensuring that every member of the community has access to transportation that allows them to partake in our economic growth. Oftentimes, we take for granted that we live in one of the most beautiful regions in the world. Our greenways and blueways are recreational and quality of life assets, as well as economic and tourism drivers. It is critical we continue to invest in our parks and waterways and connect those investments to our neighborhoods and business districts. Think about it. The Erie Canal, the Loop the Lake Trail, the Creek Walk, Clark's Reservation, Jamesville Beach, the Seneca River, the Oneida River, Otisco Lake, Skinny Atlas Lake, Green Lakes, Beaver Lake, Oneida Shores, Onondaga Lake Parkway, Highland Forest, and of course, Dave, Pratt's Falls are just a few examples of what is right here in Onondaga County. Through our partnership with the legislature, we will create new green spaces and work to revitalize and enhance access to our waterways. Later this year, we will put out a $2.5 million RFP to our government and private sector partners for projects that accomplish these goals. Let's not forget that part of providing access to our waterways is investing in programming to tackle invasive species. We have been fighting water chestnuts countywide, but specifically in Cross Lake and the Seneca River. I'm happy to announce that we will allocate an additional $500,000 to existing funding streams to address this invasive species in those bodies of water. You're welcome, Legislator Bush. Where are you? That one's for you. There you go. Last, but certainly not least, Plan On recognizes and embraces our county's strong and diverse agriculture economy. Our community has always supported our local farms. Look no further than the successful Onondaga Grown campaign or the annual On Farm Fest, which attracts thousands of people to a variety of farms across our county. Educating the broader public on the importance of local ag economy is critical in our efforts to buy local. We have no greater ambassador to these efforts than Legislator Dave Knapp. Please give Dave, a new grandpa, a round of applause. In recognition of the role that ag tourism plays in farm viability, tourism, and quality of life in Onondaga County, we created the Onondaga County Ag Tourism Grant with individual awards of up to $15,000 for ag tourism ventures. Our review committee is in the process of making final recommendations for the first round, but applications are being accepted on a rolling basis. So I encourage our partners in the ag community to take advantage of this program. The Central New York regional market is a key asset for our local farms and local economy. We have funded a new plan for the market to not only update existing infrastructure, but to outline what a regional market should look like in a growing community to better serve the needs of our farmers and our residents. This plan will be the roadmap for future investment at the market. We believe in the potential of a new regional market and will co-invest with the state of New York. I am happy to announce that Onondaga County is ready to invest $4 million in a new modern market, and we hope to leverage that $4 million to tens of millions of dollars with investment from the state of New York. A community that can come together, is intentional, works towards removing barriers to employment, develops early childhood through graduate degree workforce development strategies, modernizes its infrastructure below and above ground, and develops shovel-ready sites, will see investment. Investment is an understatement for what is happening here in Onondaga County. Micron, $50 billion first phase. $50 billion, with 5,000 construction jobs and 4,500 Micron jobs. Amazon, $350 million invested into 3.6 million square feet of robotics and logistics facility. 1,000 jobs were promised. They have delivered on 3,031 jobs. Onondaga County was a critical partner in the expansion of the JMA Wireless Urban Campus, hosting the leading company in 5G manufacturing and the leading company in memory manufacturing cements Onondaga County as a home to two of the most important technologies for the foreseeable future. JMA has invested $76 million and created 150 new jobs in their campus downtown. Blue Force, previously known as CryoMech, has undergone 2 expansions over the last 4 years, investing $34 million into 100,000 square feet of new manufacturing space, and is growing from 120 employees to 180 employees. TTM Technologies is expanding with a $122 million project, retaining 508 jobs and creating 400 new jobs. They are constructing 214,000 square feet of manufacturing space to manufacture key components for the semiconductor industry, as well as the defense and aerospace industries. Lotte, with the acquisition of the former Bristol-Myers facility in East Syracuse, signaled a commitment to North America, which started in 2023. Lotte is already working on building a new building that will house the Cancer Drug Center, an $80 million investment. Lotte has retained 420 jobs, hired 37 new employees, and is still hiring. And I am happy to announce that the Film Hub will have a new future. We will be selling the Film Hub to Saab, one of the world leaders in defense and aerospace manufacturing. This multi-million-dollar investment from Saab further solidifies Onondaga County as the leader in high-tech manufacturing as Saab expands its footprint here. There will be more to come on this project at a later date. And I'm also happy to announce Feldmeyer Equipment is increasing the size of its facility located at Robert Feldmeyer Parkway by approximately 70,000 square feet. This $22 million investment plans to break ground in June with a 12-month build. This expansion will allow Feldmeyer to increase the capacity of their components group that provides the necessary parts to meet the manufacturing needs of their Syracuse operation, along with their 5 other plants across the United States. Feldmeyer considered other options across the country, but it decided to support their home in Onondaga County. Colby Clark and Dave Pollock are here. Please give them a round of applause. My friends, we are executing on our PI platform. We are addressing complicated causes of poverty. We are tackling complicated public health and public safety issues, and we are modernizing our infrastructure and investing back in neighborhoods. We are planning for the future, tackling a housing crisis, and are investing in the workforce of the future intentionally, making sure no community is left behind. We are living in this unique moment in time. The progress over the last 5 years is the envy of many, but it is not enough. Our moment is bigger. Our performance needs to be stronger. Our country needs us to execute. Our people need us to execute, and our children deserve the amazing opportunities in front of them. We are ready. We are tested. Former President Teddy Roosevelt famously referenced the man in the arena. To execute on our Erie Canal moment, there will be no man in the arena. There will be no woman in the arena, but there will be an entire community in the arena, and we will get the job done. God bless you all. God bless this county, and God bless these great United States. Thank you. Thank you.